10 Plus Digital Desk, everyone. Oh, wait a second. There we go. We had some maneuvering around. Give me just a second here. I had the microphone on, and then we took the microphone off. So we're just going to get a little live look over downtown Jackson right now. Thank you for joining us. You know, it's a lot less humidity. We're feeling the cooler temperatures, and that's why we have Colton Cichoracki here to talk about all of what is going on today. How are you?
Good. Yeah, weather-wise today, though, very quiet. You know, it's a nice breath of fresh air, literally, outside because we've been seeing lower humidity today. Temperatures are very comfortable, and there has been some sunshine. Yes, there have been some clouds around today, but they're really not bringing any rainfall, so it's a nice day overall, and I expect that weather to continue, too, over the next several days. But let's show you another live look outside from all across mid-Michigan, and you can see from US 127 in southern Clinton County to East Lansing to Mason to Jackson, all seeing the same type of weather, just some of those puffy cumulus clouds outside, but it is a fantastic afternoon. And temperatures right now, look at these numbers, upper 60s and lower 70s. It is fantastic. So a nice day when you get home from work, open up the windows, go for a walk.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that, because the weather is definitely going to be nice throughout the remainder of the day today. And I did want to show you satellite radar, though. While we do have some of those clouds out there, there is no rain to speak of anywhere across the Great Lakes state, and I do not expect any rain to come down throughout the day today, tomorrow, and even over the next several days, as we do have dry weather that's in the forecast. So if you do have any Thursday evening plans, we have temperatures remaining in the 70s. One thing we'll see tonight, though, is once the sun goes down, the sky will clear out, and we are expecting clear skies overnight. That will allow temperatures to drop down into the lower 50s by tomorrow morning, so it's going to be a cooler night. So that's just something to keep in mind. I slept with my windows open last night.
I bet that felt great.
Fantastic. It did get a little chilly.
But that's almost like welcomed. It just kind of throws you off after all the mugginess we've had.
I agree, and you know, and the dry weather has been nice too. And over the next 5 days, we have very, very little chances for rain in the forecast to speak of. In fact, I want to break this down for you day by day. The only chance for rain really maybe late Monday out of the next 5 days, but I left the forecast completely dry. So we'll keep an eye on that for next week, but I really don't expect a ton of rain up until probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And if we do go 5 consecutive days, so yesterday we did pick up a little bit of rain actually, but if we do a 5-day stretch with no rain, that will be the first time since February 29th through March 4th. Isn't that just incredible?
That is.
That it's been so long.
No, we will take it.
So it has been many months since we've seen a stretch of dry weather like this in the forecast. And the good news, too, is that it's going to be coming with pretty comfortable temperatures. We don't really have a major warm-up coming. Today's the coolest day, highs in the low to mid-70s, then tomorrow upper 70s, and then we're kind of in the lower 80s from Saturday all the way through the parts of next week. Very close to average, if not a few degrees below average for this time of year. So really not looking too bad over the next week or so across mid-Michigan in terms of our temperature. So I do expect that some humidity will start to creep back up in here as we head towards the weekend and into next week as well, but that's about it. And speaking of the weekend,
it looks beautiful.
Yeah, if you don't have any plans for the weekend, start thinking about what you might want to do outside, because the weather is going to cooperate both Saturday and Sunday. We'll have temperatures in the lower 80s, lots of sunshine on Saturday, a few clouds possible on Sunday, but I really do expect the weekend to be really nice. So kind of some well-deserved weather here after all the rain that we've seen as of late, especially, you know, with the remnants of the hurricane that came through. And so we are going to dry out in a big way. Also good news, because this will allow any of those streams or rivers that are a bit high to kind of go back down to normal levels, because we're going to see the dry weather, and the sunshine is going to make a world of difference out there too. And most importantly, and probably the part that I'm most excited about, is there's really not that much humidity.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to feel nice outside. You're not going to go outside and just instantly sweat.
You'll want to stay out there.
Yes, you'll want to stay outside. But one thing that we mentioned on News 10 today at 11, just because we have these cooler temperatures, the sun is still very strong. So make sure you are putting on the sunscreen. UV index is going to be high. So just keep that in mind if you do have any outdoor plans this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, if you want to head to the pool. I know the Lugnuts have their all-star game happening. I know me and our First at 4 producer, Matt Bluestein, we're planning on heading to the Lavender Fields. So yeah, I mean, lots of fun happening.
So
I know the Hot Air Jubilee is going on.
Are you going to be in the lavender haze?
Oh, your Taylor Swift references. Yes, you could say that. You could say that.
I'm ridiculous.
You are. I love it, though. I'll bring you back some lavender so you can
perfect.
You know, put it next to your Taylor
Crystal
Swift
got
album.
me, I forget where she got it from, but she got me a
Your
mug
mug.
that says "I'm in my lavender haze" or something like that.
It was cute. What'd you get that for? Was it Secret Santa or no?
No,
Oh
just-
no,
she
she and Maureen.
She just got it for me one day.
That's so kind. There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can go experience your lavender haze with the beautiful temperatures and weather this weekend.
Yeah, anything that's going on this weekend, the weather's going to cooperate. It looks fantastic. Easily one of the nicest weekends that we've had so far this year, I would argue. Lower 80s, no chance for rain, and lots of sunshine. So get outside and enjoy it. I hope to do the same, and I hope, Taylor, you can do the same.
Oh, yes.
And enjoy some of this nice weather.
All right. I know some people in the office were also talking about heading to Potter Park Zoo later tonight. They have an event going on as well. So, yeah, whatever you plan on doing, get outside and enjoy, because like Colton said, we haven't experienced a dry stretch of weather until February 29th through March 4th is what your graphic said? Okay.
There were a couple days that we just picked up a trace stretches in there, but yeah, completely dry, no rain whatsoever was way back in February 29th through the 4th.
So go enjoy.
Enjoy it while we have it.
We'll see you during Studio 10 for F4.
Yep, both of those newscasts, and then, yeah, Andy will be in for your 90 minutes of news.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Colton. We'll tune in then. And with Studio 10, they are busy getting things going. They are talking about many different things, of course. Talking about the Beetlejuice trailer, if you've seen that. It's been a while since the first one came out. An absolute classic of a movie. So I know a lot of... yeah, don't say it 3 times. Don't say, oh, there it is. Uh-oh, uh-oh. We'll see what happens here at News 10. It was just said 3 times. Don't say Beetlejuice 3 times in a row. And then also talking about Claudia being engaged. There's going to be a lot of excitement with that. I know a lot of people are talking about weddings, wedding season, being a bridesmaid, doing all these different events. So yes, we're going to be talking about Claudia getting engaged, or Studio 10 will be. They're also talking about Miss Michigan, Find the Flag giveaway, where, let me pull it up for you so you can see what I'm talking about here in terms of their giveaway. Oh boy. Let's see. The computer wants to load for me. All right, here we go. So we're going to turn it to this page real quick. You can go to our website, WILX.com, click on contests. You're going to see the Studio 10 Games giveaway. You can win amazing gift cards when you find the flag on Studio 10. All you do is put in your email, say where you found the flag, and you have a chance to win some prizes, some gift cards. Who doesn't want that money, especially with all the increased prices? Help you save. Also talking about the Hot Air Jubilee happening this weekend, happening tomorrow. We're going to have Andy Provenzano live there as well. So that's something that you can look forward to. And then also doing a preview of Dam Jam. So they have a lot of fun coming up, talking about all of the events you can look forward to this weekend across Michigan. So make sure that you're tuning into Studio 10 coming up at 3 o'clock today. Of course, WILX Studio 10 is a great social media handle to search for them, and then Studio 10 at WILX.com. Great place to go if you want to sponsor with them, if you have any questions or ideas. But we have Mars Anderson ready to go next to me to share what he has coming up during our 90 minutes of news. Hi, Mars.
Hello.
How are you?
Happy Friday for me, but of course, happy Thursday, everyone.
I was
I'm
going to
good.
say, don't fool me with that. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Well, I'm there today, and I'm done. I can take a break.
There you go.
So excited about that. And actually, speaking of weddings, I know you were talking about that as well. I just did a story, so we'll talk about my story, of course. But as I was there, of course, I got to meet some viewers who work at the Hope Public Schools, and one was talking about how Seth and Maureen's engagement just made her whole entire day, and she just loves them in the morning show. So it's always nice to get out a guy who's working there also notice myself as well. So it just always touches my heart to see that you guys care about what we have going on and the work that we do. So excited about weddings and stuff. We have a lot of people who are actually engaged here.
I know, there's so many.
So,
we're like, all right.
Excited for wedding season if I get invited, fingers crossed.
There you go.
But today I am talking about school meals. So those free school meals. So of course I got to get out with the kids again, or for the first time. Then I got to get out with the kids again today, and they were just so excited for me to be there to talk about this thing that I don't think that they're really like aware of. Because of course parents are paying for these school meals, but now going into the budget is $200 million. I guess was an additional $40 million that was added to do free school breakfasts and free school lunches. So they do the meet up and eat up at the school. So I was able to kind of go see what this looks like, and kids are kind of like funneling through for that whole, I want to say maybe 2 hours. So you can definitely see the benefit. Our teacher in the district was also there because of course she was out with her kids at the park and decided, hey, let me go, get a free meal, because of course it's just, that hassle of maybe waking up in the morning, or maybe you have some things going on and you forget. It's that great thing. But then of course we know that, inflation is a real deal here, and, sometimes people do not have the budget to always feed their kids, unfortunately.
And you
so
got to
this is a
skip
great
out on those
thing.
meals.
Exactly. And so it's just a nice program. But then also you just see everybody in there just eating. I love food, so
I think
I ate
yeah,
the
it's
school
the
lunch
need. We
too,
need it.
So it was just a nice little experience.
I know something else we talked about. And we're going to be having some interviews coming up on Mid-Michigan Matters for First at 4, talking about school nutrition and tying in part of what you're talking about today, Mars, but more so talking about balanced meals and getting the right nutrition for their little young minds and bodies to keep growing with all that knowledge. So have they talked about how those free lunches and the free meals, how they're going to be incorporating well-balanced diets?
Yes, so a big part of what the food service director was telling me was that, this is an opportunity for schools to introduce produce and vegetables and fruits and things like that. He called it a colorful plate.
I like that. That's good.
Of those things that you need to eat. And sometimes those school lunches are the first time a lot of students are kind of eating their fruits and veggies, because I know these days parents are trying to feed you what keeps you quiet opposed to what keeps you healthy. So we're talking about that a little bit. And then I do have a nutritionist who I'll be talking to today to kind of talk about that thought of hunger impacting learning.
Yeah.
So I'll have those details during News 10 at 5:30. I don't have them just yet, but of course we're figuring it out.
All right, News 10 at 5:30. We can look forward to that.
Yes.
Sounds good. Catch Mars and News 10 at 5:30. I know you have an interview coming up, so we'll let you get back to it.
All right, absolutely. Thank you.
But let me pull this up real quick. There we go. We'll be talking more about the food. All right, looking forward to that. The colorful plates, all of the nutrition they can look forward to. News 10 at 5:30 with Mars Anderson. We'll be getting Riley Connell up here in just a little bit. Yeah, we have a little loose microphone, everyone, so apologize for that. We're trying to work on that. The technology gets difficult at times. But switching gears here, sharing what's coming up today on First at 4 during Mid-Michigan Matters. We are talking with the National Park Service, and more so with Sleeping Bear Dune National Park, and talking about heading out to trails, a little bit on camping, but more so visiting the national parks, especially across Michigan, right? We want to highlight the ones that are right in our backyards. And so with a lot of this, or if you're hearing some little clickety-clacks back here, we have the microphone that needs to get put on, so no worries if you're getting distracted. But anyway, talking about the national parks, the importance of keeping nature clean and leaving no trace, so really limiting the footprint that you have on nature, right? We want to appreciate the beauty around us and keep it going instead of ruining it. So learning how to respect the national parks, again, right in our backyard, and the importance of leave no trace, how you can do that, and really leave a positive mark on nature by really limiting the mark that you leave. So we're going to share more on that coming up today during Mid-Michigan Matters. And then starting with News 10 at 5, you've no doubt noticed the back-to-school sales already popping up. I'm sure you're going around Target, Meijer, Five Below, Amazon, wherever you're shopping these days. You're seeing all the back-to-school stuff going. So yes, it's that time where school supplies are flying off the shelves, but there's an unconventional way that some instructors are stocking up. News 10's Aaron Bowling gives us an inside look at tomorrow's teacher supply sale at the MSU Surplus store. And you can hear more on that coming up today on News 10 at 5. Coming up News 10 at 5:30, we have a consumer alert. As technology continues to evolve, experts are reminding you again to be careful what you share on social media. So lest you fall victim to a bait and switch scam, we'll explain what this scam involves and how you can stay vigilant. More on that story coming up today on News 10 at 5:30. And then News 10 at 6, Aaron Bowling is back as she speaks with first responders about workplace burnout for this month's You're Not Alone mental health series. That's coming up today on News 10 at 6. Real quick, I'm going to pull this up before we get to Riley Connell, so you know that you're not alone. Whether you're facing stress, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, whether that's substance abuse with addiction and gambling, or talking about workplace burnout like Aaron Bowling will be talking about today. Whatever is impacting your mental health, know that you're not alone. There are resources out there to connect you with those mental health care professionals for those resources to support you, get that understanding and guidance, and really just improve your overall well-being. So those resources are out there, and we want to share that with you when you're ready to do so. But again, I have Riley Connell standing next to us right now. We're going to share what you have coming up. How's it going?
Hello, happy Thursday.
Yeah, we're Thursday. I know.
We're almost there.
Mars said Friday because it's his Friday. So for a second I was a little thrown off.
My Friday is on Saturday, so it's not even really close to my Friday anyways. It's more like my Wednesday, but that's okay.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
A pretty busy day. over here in the News 10 newsroom. Coming up on News 10 at 5:30, we're going to be taking a look at a lawsuit that's been filed against some top officials in the state of Michigan. That includes Governor Gretchen Whitmer, that includes Attorney General Dana Nessel, and a couple of state licensing boards. And so this dispute kind of centers around a couple of Catholic charities groups in the state of Michigan and a few counselors in the state of Michigan who are pushing back against the ban against conversion therapy. So
That's been
this
a big
is
topic.
it definitely has, and the state of Michigan banned this type of therapy about a year ago, I believe. So just this time last year, the state of Michigan said therapy practices that aim to convert an LGBTQ person. If they're gay, trying to convert that person into being straight, or if they're trans, trying to convert a person from being trans, kind of these like reverse therapy practices that, leaders in the state of Michigan at the time said, invalidate these feelings of LGBTQ folks. So this conversion therapy ban was against conversion therapy for LGBTQ youth specifically. So now, a year later after that ban has been made, some of these groups are saying it's an infringement on First Amendment rights to free speech. And so their reasoning for that is saying if you ban conversion therapy, it doesn't leave certain counselors with a lot of options to really work with these kids who say that they're uncertain of their gender identity or uncertain of their sexual orientation. They feel that it kind of puts a cap on a counselor's ability to walk them through those feelings, as opposed to automatically affirming that child and saying what you're feeling and what you're thinking is valid. So it's a complex issue, because you would think, what does conversion therapy have to do with free speech? Off the jump, you would think, what's the connection there? But for them, they're saying it kind of infringes those practices of counselors to push back with some of these kids or walk back some of the feelings that these youth are having and saying, well, maybe it's not a gender identity confusion. Maybe you're not trans. Maybe you're not gay. Maybe we need to, step back and talk through that differently. So it is really complex when you get down to that issue.
And also speaking with children, with that in itself is a whole added layer of things. When they're going through a time, children are rapidly growing and molding to society every single day. So a lot of these decisions that are being put forth to different officials, I mean, you really have to take a look at, in depth, how it's going to take effect on their lives.
Absolutely, and you have a lot of experts who will say, and some that I'm going to be speaking with shortly, with some behavioral health experts who are really kind of knowledgeable in that area of conversion therapy and that long-term impact. They'll talk a lot about the importance of affirming an LGBTQ youth so that they, understand that they're heard, or it gives them room to kind of explore these thoughts and feelings that they're having if they are seeking a transition. So you have groups on one side who are saying that affirmation for those kids is really important, and that's what needs to come first. And then you have these groups who are saying, we can't be infringing on the freedom of our counselors to actually work with these kids and guide them and maybe not automatically affirm them. And of course, there's always an aspect of, religious belief that comes along with that too. We're talking about Catholic charities, right? And some religious-based counseling groups who have maybe a different take on these LGBTQ issues. So there's a lot of hot button topics here, a lot of big talkers. So we're going to kind of bring both sides of the issue in, and an expert kind of in behavioral health who doesn't have a connection to this lawsuit at all, who can just talk a little bit about what conversion therapy actually is, and what that might look like, what the impact of conversion therapy might be, and maybe the impact of reversing this ban if that's what comes out of this lawsuit in the end. So it's really a big issue to tackle. I have reached out to some of the folks who have been named as the defendants in this lawsuit. That's including the Office of the Governor, the Attorney General's office, a few different state boards, including the State Board of Social Workers. So a few of those, licensing and regulatory boards, even the director of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has been named as a defendant in this case. So I'm hoping to gather their side of this issue too, maybe some reaction and some response to having this lawsuit filed against them. But for now, I have spoken with the attorneys who are representing the Catholic charities and other counselors who filed this lawsuit. you know, and an expert in behavioral health. So we're gonna hear from those folks and hopefully some response and reaction from those who were named as defendants in this case. So it's really a big issue to tackle.
There are a lot of details that go into this,
Yeah.
for sure. So I know you mentioned a lot of it here, which is why I'm glad there was a space to be able to talk more in depth about all of this.
Yeah.
And yeah, lots to unpack.
Yes.
So when do you have more on this story coming up, Riley?
Coming up on News 10 at 5:30, you will see a little bit of both sides of this issue. We're just going to take a closer look at what this lawsuit is actually hoping to achieve, kind of what it says, what some of the claims are.
And
what some
understanding
of these-
conversion therapy as well.
Exactly, yeah. I think you have to understand that part of it first to understand what this lawsuit is about. So we're going to try to clarify some of those points too. So think of it as kind of a nuts and bolts of what this case is, and hopefully as we follow along with it, taking a little bit of a deeper look into the, you know, both sides of this issue too, and expanding on that as well. So
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
News 10 at 5:30. Make sure you're tuning into Riley's story. Again, lots to uncover there when it comes to this lawsuit. All right, thank you, Riley.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. One more time, we're going to show the You're Not Alone mental health series. Riley talked a lot about the impacts that this can have on mental health. We're talking also about those behavioral counselors as well and how their role in conversion therapy too. So I do want to pull this up. If you're experiencing anything similar, anything different, but in relation to your mental health, just know that you can go scan that QR code with your cell phone's camera, and from there you'll be able to see the list of resources across our area. So again, just go over there and you'll be able to see all of those resources that we have across mid-Michigan. I do want to share what Tanaya Jordan has coming up News 10 at 5, since you just heard what Mars Anderson and Riley Connell have coming up today on News 10 at 5:30. So we're going to toss it to Tanaya.
Hey Taylor, I'm out here in Jackson getting ready for the Hot Air Jubilee. I just spoke to the event organizers who told me the party is getting started. Now as you can see behind me, the banners are out, everyone's getting ready, they're setting up and making sure that people can have a great time this weekend. I'll have more on this story coming up today on News 10 at 5. For now, back to you.
All right, thank you. Tonight, more on the Hot Air Jubilee getting underway. Again, Studio 10 is also talking about that on Studio 10 today, right now. And then also you can tune in tomorrow when Andy Provenzano is live for the Hot Air Jubilee. Lots of excitement going on. But yes, you can learn more today coming up News 10 at 5. You can also learn more coming up on Studio 10, which is happening in just under half an hour here. So make sure that you're tuning in. One more time, if you're unable to tune into Studio 10, again, they're talking about a lot of different things today. Talking about the Dam Jam. They're also talking about the Hot Air Jubilee that Tanaya just teased. And also talking about Claudia's engagement. They have a lot more coming up of different events across the area. And let me see if there's anything else I can pull up happening with Studio 10. But in the meantime, if you have any good recipes that you want to try out, or if you don't have any recipes and you want some, that's more of what I'm trying to say, you can head over to @WILX Studio 10 on their YouTube page. Rochelle has her Rochelle's recipes, and Nicole has her Cole's Crafts. So if you want to do anything fun out in the area, make sure that you're getting outside, enjoying all of the beautiful weather that we're going to have, and less muggy weather too. You can see all those different ideas from Studio 10 and just really good ideas, so go check it out. But I do want to share what we have coming up. A big talker around here has been the Paris Olympics, which is getting started Friday, July 26th, which is next Friday, if you can believe it or not. So I know we've had that countdown going throughout our newscasts. I believe we started when it was like 72 days away. We are less than 8 days away now, about 8 or 9 days away. So make sure that you are tuning in with us here Friday, July 26th. And then I do want to let you know too, there are going to be a few changes to our channels of where you can watch our newscast. So typically, I'm sure you're watching on 10.1. However, coming up again when the Paris Olympics start, there's going to be some changes with our newscast. I'm going to pull those up right now. So News 10 today at 11 and First at 4. Going from 10.1, switching it over to our Heroes and Icons channel, which is on 10.3. And then News 10 at 5 and News 10 at 5:30 will be on MeTV, which is channel 10.2. And as you see on this screen now, Jeopardy, which I know a lot of people are a fan of, that will also be switched to MeTV on channel 10.2. Again, as you see on the screen there, this is all due to the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics getting started Friday, July 26th. So during this time that the Olympics are running, you will be able to see that streamed here on 10.1. And that's why you're going to want to watch News 10 at 11 and First at 4 on 10.3. and watch News 10 at 5 and 5:30, and Jeopardy on MeTV at channel 10.2 to get all your latest news throughout our newscast, and then of course to get your Jeopardy. So that is some of the changes happening in the next next week or couple weeks here on News 10, and we just want to make note of that so you know where to watch us and there's no confusion. So I'll make sure to keep running that through in the next rest of this week and then leading up next week as well. So again, there's no confusion. We clarify where you can tune in for all of your local news and much more. We'll also be recapping and staying up to date with what's happening throughout the Olympics, so you can make sure you're tuning in for that as well. Something else I want to note is that News 10 today at 11 and First at 4, they will again be on the Heroes and Icons channel 10.3, and those will be extended into an hour. So instead of News 10 at 11 and First at 4 being half an hour, they're going to be extended into a full hour. So that means more local news. We're going to get you more of the Olympic coverage, and Studio 10 will have a part in those as well. So no Studio 10. They will be part of News 10 today at 11 and First at 4. So those are all, not all, but a lot of the changes that will be happening here on News 10 throughout the Paris Olympics, and we just wanted to pass that information along. But again, beautiful weather, and one more time taking a look at your weekend forecast with this dry stretch we have. Make sure you're going out and to enjoy it. I'll take a live look over downtown Jackson before we head out of here, and then I'll get another live look over Michigan State University to see what we have going on over there. And it is also looking good out on MSU's campus. Just you have those big puffy clouds out in the sky, but those should be disappearing later on throughout the day. So now I'm going to show you Delta Township, also seeing more of those clouds, but you're seeing the blue underneath, or I guess above the clouds. So again, make sure you're soaking it up. Today is one of the cooler days, and I'm sure you're feeling the lower humidity levels out there as well. So it's feeling good. It might be feeling a little cool like fall, but make sure that you're enjoying it before those showers return, before that humidity returns in the forecast. Go soak it up. That is what we have coming up today on News 10. Studio 10 gets started here in 20 minutes. You can see Colton Cichoracki for your updated First Alert forecast for Studio 10 and First at 4. And then Andy Provenzano has a lot more coming for you during our 90 minutes of news. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everyone.